Hello and a very warm welcome to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. It's really good to have you here with me on the Memory Lane 80 show this evening, especially as we are joined by founder member of Level 42, Phil Gould. We'll be catching up with him after this. Phil, it's lovely to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm pretty good, Hayley. Nice to meet you.
Oh, it's lovely to meet you too. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Memory Lane 80 show. Obviously, we have been in lockdown. What have you been up to?
A lot of writing, a lot of songwriting.
Right. Got creative, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of waiting around. We had this album ready to go at the beginning of last year, but we weren't sure what to do really. But now we started working on the release at the end of the year. But because a lot of musicians that I work with are very busy normally, and they weren't, so we were actually quite creative, and I hope there's going to be a lot of I've got a lot of music ready to go and a lot of songs written, so hopefully there'll be a lot of that at the end of
yes well, do keep us posted, and we'll be talking about your new music a little bit later on in the show, but we're going to play out a real favourite here on the show, Level 42, Something About You. I mean, what do you think makes this song so special?
I don't know, it kind of has a chord sequence that you might, it's not, it's got something that you is kind of familiar about it, and it's just one of those things that came together it wasn't contrived at all. It came together in rehearsal. Mike was playing these three chords. I sang the chorus to him, then I sang the bass line, then he sang a pre-chorus, and then Mark came up with a verse. My brother finished the lyrics, and it's kind of one of those things where. And actually, when we were recording it, we weren't even sure it was going to go on the record. Nobody was sure about it.
No.
But my kids, my son and my nephew were singing it around the house. So I was singing, and my mum was singing. That's
always a good sign.
Yeah, it's always a really good sign. You have to pay attention to those things. So I kind of had a feeling that there was something there.
Yeah, well, it's something that I've definitely been singing all through lockdown. I think it's an absolute timeless classic. We love it here on the show. Here it is from 1985. Enjoy, and we'll see you after. A little bit how everything first started for you, because you were born in Hong Kong, and is it right that you wanted to join your brother's band?
When I was 15, I joined my brother's band to play drums. Actually, I got like a drum kit. I managed to persuade my mum to buy me a drum kit, and so I joined his band essentially. Then we formed a band together, and then we all went to London, and we all went our separate ways, and we weren't expecting to be in a band, and then all of a sudden we just were jamming together, and it just sort of happened, really. There was a Brit funk scene. There was a small independent label came and heard one of these riffs that we were doing and said, put a top line on that. And we did, and I think we sold 70,000 copies of that 12-inch that summer. And then we got a 5-album deal. And then we go, like, now what do we do? It's like we had no idea of being together in a band. We were just jamming, and then. So I had to sit Mark down, and Mark went from being a drummer, actually. He was a drummer, and he became a singing bass player. My brother at that point was playing bass in a heavy metal band. He became the guitarist. And so it's kind of wild, but we just sort of saw an opportunity, or we were presented with an opportunity, and went, all right, let's see what happens, Wild.
Yeah, it just kind of worked, didn't it?
It was an accidental band.
I bet you could just never kind of just think about the success that you had. I mean, I guess when you started out, you just can't imagine it.
We came from the Isle of Wight, little seaside town, Shanklin, and the idea of having any kind of music career was just so remote. And I remember the first gig we did that we played together was at a student bar at the Gould School of Music, and the fact that people got up and started dancing was just a shock. It was like, people actually like this. People actually are responding to because this was original material. It wasn't doing covers and things.
Yeah.
And then you have people coming. You've sat out a gig, and then you do Hammersmith Palais, Hammersmith Odeon. You think, what's going on? People actually like. It's very hard to get used to that initially. That people are digging it, and then you can't get past that self-doubt for many years, and you have to get used to that altitude. But initially, it was unbelievable. We couldn't believe it.
God, I can't believe that. After your success, that's amazing. We're going to play out The Sun Goes Down, Living It Up. This was an outstanding point in your career, wasn't it? This became a real classic.
Yeah, this was recorded in Los Angeles, and we were recording there with two guys from Earth, Wind & Fire, and it was a big moment because big budget and two big-time producers, and right now you've got to have this album, third album. but we didn't like what I mean, they wanted to work with us to work with these LA songwriters, and we refused to do it. We were quite stubborn, But they said, "What have you got then?" And we just sat in the studio one night, and Wally Baddery, the keyboard genius that we were working with, had this riff, and we put top lines on it and bass lines, and put down a quick track. And they came in the next day, and they said, "That's a hit,"
Wow.
So we managed to get away with it, Well, and then I remember, I think we recorded that day with Wally, the keyboard. We had like 4 people in the band, but Wally Baddery, the synth genius. We spent the whole day with Wally, and then he left, and that was it. And that was the end of that's the end of the recording phase. It was a very last minute addition to the album, but it was the top 10, and it kind of saved our bacon with the label and put us onto another level with the audience.
It really did. Well, like you say, it was a top 10 hit from 1983. Love this song. Enjoy. We've got some questions from some of our lovely viewers. Keely says, you left the band in 1988, but you wrote several songs for the album Forever Now, released 6 years later. How was that experience?
It was good because I didn't leave on the best of terms, really. I mean, and I knew I didn't want to tour anymore, but also, there's a lot of nonsense going on in the band, young guys in their 20s with all this nonsense. But so it was good to get back together with the guys and sort of put a lot of that to bed. And some of those songs were written kind of with that in mind, the feeling, some of the lyrics are kind of reflective of that. So it was a good healing process, And we tried it. We got together and did an album, but we didn't really see. We weren't going to. It's not just a one-off, But it was nice to put to bed a lot of the silliness that had gone on before. It's good, and so that's why I treasure that album.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. And the next question we've got is from Sam, who says, "You toured all over the world. Are there any countries that you enjoyed coming back to? I understand Level 42 has a huge loyal fan base in Holland."
Yeah, Holland was the first success we had. I mean, it was amazing there. We at the end of the first year, we had a big hit in Holland, which was what you need as a young band starting out. You need to have success somewhere for the label to go, okay, we can continue with this then, and to spend, continue spending money.
Yeah.
And we had a fantastic time. It was, I don't know, we spent a lot of time in Holland, but particularly back then, Amsterdam was just amazing. And I come from a tiny little seaside town, so to be going around to these cities like Frankfurt, Munich, Amsterdam, all across Europe was just the greatest thing. And it was actually, it was my education. I met so many wonderful people, and they taught me so much about the world. It was the beginning of my education, like really touring.
Yeah.
And it started, Holland was the beginning of it.
Oh, love that. Well, I still love the Isle of Wight, I have to say. I go there on my summer holidays, so big up the Isle of Wight.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah. And the last question from Steve. For Lessons in Love, you experimented with using a drum machine, recording your own samples and blending it with your own live drum performance. Did you enjoy experimenting and creating this new sound?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I was involved in the very first recording I did with a band called M, which is a studio project, and that was all about constructing music, not just playing it, like putting a snare and drum, bass drum pattern down, then a hi-hat, just constructing it. So there's a little bit of that on Lessons in Love, but it was, I think most of the album was played, but I quite enjoyed it, but there was a lot of sequences, and one of the things that we got into at that time was having sequences in our backing tracks live, and not many bands were doing that, but it got a little bit authoritarian because basically the sequencer would tell you when to start, when to stop. So it was good fun to create like that, but we kind of realised it wasn't as much fun playing live because you were stuck with the structure of the sequencer.
Yeah.
But the sound we were going for, I mean, we were doing such layered sounds in the studio that it was impossible to create that live without some help from technology. Like Lessons in Love, the track, has got so much going on keyboard-wise that we had to have elements of that. The keyboard player couldn't do it all, so that was the reason why we did that.
Oh, we're going to take a little look at Lessons in Love now. Now, I want to talk about your single, Beautiful Wounds, which is from your album of the same name. Now, am I right in saying it's a reflection of life's struggles and the scars we pick up along the way? Yeah,
that's the idea for it, yeah. I mean, obviously we know all these incredible people these stories or books or plays or people that we know about that come through incredibly difficult circumstances and do incredible things as a result or in spite of. I mean, a lot of the songs that we hear, paintings, plays, films are created by people that have gone through real adversity. And, we know about great singers in history like Billie Holiday, and what the life she had as a young woman, very, very difficult. But what she did with that pain was to turn it into this incredible voice and this incredible feeling that you get when you listen to her music, So it's that's one of the things I love about human beings, is how they turn negatives, I guess, like into positives like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a female vocalist on this track as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah, Diana Winter.
Oh, okay.
My friend in Italy. It's not Diana in the posh sense. It's Diana in the Italian sense, right. Like Diana Winter. It's not a Diana, but she's my friend, and she's from Florence. She's based in Rome, but we've worked together. I've recorded with her in Rome, and we've known each other for a long time. So I love her voice, and
yes, beautiful.
So she's part of the when we have the chance to go and play live. She's part of my ongoing band. We actually have a band ready to go. With, like everybody else, we're just waiting to see exactly when that's going to be, but hopefully it won't be long.
Yeah, not too long. Well, this is available to stream on all major platforms, the album and the single. We're going to check out the video to Beautiful Wounds right now, and we'll see you after this.
Can take it in. Seems like only yesterday when we had all the time to play. How could we have been so dumb? We knew this day would have to come. So keep your ships in line astern. There's lessons we have got to learn. The body takes what the body needs. The soul decides what the heart receives. The heart perceives. So let me take another look at those beautiful wounds, the kind that heal but not too soon. Let me see those scars all down your back. What they reveal is what I lack. The life you live, the love you feel. At times like these, let's keep it real. So let me take another look at those beautiful wounds before they heal and lose their bloom. The body takes what the body needs. The soul decides what the heart receives. The body takes what the body needs. The soul decides what the heart receives. Down your back, but they reveal is what I lack. The life we live, the love you feel. At times like these, let's keep it real. So let me take another look at those beautiful wounds before they heal and lose their bloom. The body takes what the body needs. The soul decides what the heart receives. The body needs.
want to talk about your new single, The Dance. This is so beautifully produced, and it's a real moving track, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. It's the first one. It's the first one I put out like that I'm singing, which is kind of a bit nerve-wracking.
I know. You're featured on the lead vocals. I love that.
Yeah, it's some of the things I have access to wonderful singers, and I can just work with these people and say, can you sing this, please? But sometimes it just felt like I didn't want to explain it to anyone. I needed to just sing it. And I was working with my friend Giannino Del Pino, this wonderful Chilean artist. And we were just hanging out in the studio, and I was trying to get the sound on the microphone, just singing round and round so I could produce this tone. And then I said, can you sing the harmony? And she'd never been on a mic in her life. And she's just one of those naturally gifted people that could just, I mean, annoyingly, she was more in tune than I was, so it's incredible. And she sang the harmony. I was going, what? That sounds really good, Julie. And I said, we'll use that. So I kind of like that kind of music making where it's not, I like being I consider myself a professional. I can do a lot of things. I'm very capable, but I do like that idea of making music where there's a little, naive quality to it. And Giannina, is a very sensitive person, but she's not she's not a musician. But she brought something really ethereal to it, like a really beautiful sound that wasn't too trained or too professional. It was just got like this wonderful quality in the back, So it's one of those great, lovely little moments, as a musician, you long for that kind of thing, little happy accidents that can occur,
Yeah. Oh, well, I just think it's absolutely stunning. Again, it's still available to stream on major platforms. And here's an exclusive clip of Phil playing the piano part to The Dance. Enjoy. Then we've got a real treat for everyone to finish, a live performance of Running in the Family. I want to dedicate this one to Jane, who I know is a member of the Level 42 fan club, so this one, Jane, is for you. But thank you so much, Phil. It's been such a pleasure and honour to have you here on the Memory Lane 80s show. Thank you.
Thank you, Hayley. It's lovely to talk to you. And I'm slightly jealous to know that you're by the sea at the moment. So I hope you get out there and enjoy it in a minute.
I know. I love my little afternoon walks down in the South Sea, and I can't wait to get the hovercraft back over to the Isle of Wight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan, so I'll definitely be there.
Okay. Well, stay safe and enjoy it, yeah.
You too. Thank you so much. And reminder, everyone at home, you can stream The Dance and Beautiful Wounds on all major platforms, so make sure you do. But thank you so much. It's Phil Gould, everyone.
Thank you, Hayley. Take care.
Oh, we've now come to the end of the show, but a huge thank you to the wonderful Phil Gould, founder member of Level 42. What an honour it has been to have him on tonight's show. We're going to leave you with that last song, Running in the Family, a great track, and we will see you same time, same place next week.
Yeah! Pete the Beat Biggin on drum! Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. I'm going. Thank you. Okay. Are you okay? Because I'm okay. Are you okay? Okay, thank you. If you want to get up and dance now, that's fine with me. And if you want to sing, that's even better. This is one called Running in the Family.